For the last month, I have been using the ROG Xbox Ally X as my main handheld gaming device, and this time has given me a very clear picture of what this machine does right and what it still struggles with. When I first unboxed it, my expectations were high because the original Ally felt like a strong first step. I thought this new version would feel more polished, more stable, and more refined. But the first thing that hit me was not the design or the performance. It was the software, and that surprise was not a good one. The software experience felt unstable right from the start, and it affected my daily use in ways I did not expect. Several times during the month, the touchscreen simply stopped responding. I had to go into the device manager, uninstall the touchscreen driver, reinstall it, and then restart the device. Even after doing all of that, there were moments when it still refused to work until I performed yet another reboot. This made the whole experience feel unpredictable. When you pick up a handheld, you want it to be ready instantly, like a console. But here, every day felt different. Some days the touchscreen worked perfectly. Other days it acted like it wanted a break. And this is not something you want to think about while gaming. The controller inputs also had problems. The A button sometimes refused to select anything on the screen. I had to press it 5 or 6 times to open a simple menu. The delay made the system feel slow, even though the hardware itself is fast. At first, I thought it was a bug that a firmware update would fix. So I went into Armory Crate, saw the update, installed it, and rebooted. But after restarting, the same update appeared again. I repeated the process, thinking maybe something went wrong. Another reboot, another update, another reboot, and the cycle continued. The system refused to recognize that the update was installed. It felt like Asus and Microsoft had released this device with software that was not ready. And the updates made it obvious they were trying to fix things as users were already experiencing them. The setup process reminded me that this device is not made for someone who wants a console-like experience. When you unbox it, you are greeted with Windows updates. Then you update apps from the Microsoft Store. Then you update firmware inside Armory Crate. And every update requires a restart. You do this over and over until everything is finally ready. It is not simple. It is not fast. And it is not friendly for someone who just wants to start gaming right away. But that is the downside of using Windows on a handheld. You get flexibility, but you also get complexity. And that complexity shows up right away. I also ran into a hardware defect that made things worse. The right vibration motor made a strange paper-like noise during certain games. When I played Forza Horizon 4, the vibration felt rough and scratchy. It did not sound normal. My original Ally did not have this issue, so I knew something was wrong with this unit. This defect became the biggest reason why I decided to return the device. It is not something that affects every unit, but it definitely affected mine. But once we move past the defects and the software problems, the hardware itself is solid. The Z2 Extreme chip has real power. The extra 24 gigabytes of RAM help with stability and multitasking. The device feels great to hold. The grips have a natural shape that fits the hands well. The joysticks feel firmer and more responsive than the ones on the original Ally. The face buttons are satisfying to press. In the beginning, my Y button stuck once or twice, but that stopped after a few days. The Xbox theme design looks clean and premium. The matte black finish makes it feel modern. And the biggest win is the new 80 battery. This is exactly what the original Ally needed from day one. It finally delivers proper battery life for long gaming sessions. Thunderbolt 4 is another smart addition. The original Ally used a proprietary port for eGPUs, which limited flexibility. With Thunderbolt 4, you can use standard accessories and external GPUs, giving you more options for upgrades. This change alone makes the device feel more future-proof. Performance is where the story becomes interesting. In games like Marvel's Spider-Man, the performance increase reached around 40% in some settings. That is a noticeable improvement, but in many other games, the difference was smaller. Many titles only saw a 15 to 20% boost. Some barely changed at all. The pattern became clear. Newer, more CPU-heavy games benefit the most from the new Zen 5 architecture. The CPU jump is real, and those games take advantage of it. But on the GPU side, the upgrade is not big enough to deliver dramatic improvements across the board. RDNA 3.5 is better than RDNA 2, but not by a huge margin. That is why the average improvement usually ends up around 5 to 15 extra frames per second. Those frames do matter, especially in demanding AAA games. But once you start using features like FSR, frame generation, and dynamic resolution, the real-world difference becomes smaller. So the question is simple. Are these extra frames worth the higher price of this device? For some people, yes. For others, not at all. When I look at who should buy the ROG Xbox Ally X, I think there are two main groups. The first group is new users who do not own any handheld gaming device. If you're buying your very first Windows handheld and money is not a problem, the Ally X is a strong option. It has premium hardware, great ergonomics, and plenty of raw power. The second group is handheld enthusiasts who love collecting the newest hardware and who want the best version of the Ally experience. For those people, this device checks all the boxes. But for everyone else, the value is harder to justify. The Steam Deck OLED remains the most reliable choice for most gamers. SteamOS feels polished and smooth. It boots quickly. It has fewer issues. The OLED display is stunning. The battery life is solid. And the price is much easier to handle. It delivers a console-like experience in a way that Windows handhelds simply cannot match yet. Another great option is the original ROG Ally on the used market. Prices are dropping, and if you add an 80 third-party battery mod from JSO or AliExpress, you fix the biggest weakness of the device. You get good performance, good size, good weight, and a huge battery upgrade, all for a much smaller price than the Ally X. You can also keep an eye on used Ally X units in the future. If the price drops enough, the upgrade becomes much more interesting. You still get the better battery, more RAM, Thunderbolt 4, and improved thermals. Those features matter a lot, and getting them at the right price would make the device a great deal. There are more handhelds on the market too, like the MSI Claw and the Legion Go. Each has strengths and weaknesses. They all show that the handheld gaming space is getting more competitive every year. Users now have real choices, not just one or two, and that competition will push companies to improve even faster. After a full month with the ROG Xbox Ally X, I can say that it is a beautiful device with strong hardware and a lot of potential. The Z2 Extreme chip is capable. The battery life is fantastic. The ergonomics are excellent. And I love the design, but the software issues hold it back. And the performance jump is not big enough for most people who already own the original Ally. For new buyers, it can be great. But for upgraders, it may not be the best choice. Even with its flaws, I enjoyed using it. It has character. It feels modern. And it delivers a premium handheld gaming experience when everything works correctly. I will miss using it after returning it. But this experience showed me that the handheld gaming world is moving fast, and the next generation will likely bring even bigger improvements. If you watched until the end, leave a small Santa emoji in the comments. It lets me know you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next review.